I'm Shalika Sharma and welcome to Shalika Sharma Stories. After the previous video, How to Read Effectively, went online on my YouTube channel, I received a lot of messages mainly seeking advice on what are the books that people should be reading. And the second most important question was that what I am reading currently. So let me tell you, in the past few weeks I have already read around 3 books and currently I am on my 4th book. The 4th book that I am reading these days is The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. As I said in my previous video, How to Read Effectively, you must, to begin with, take up a book from the genre that you are interested in. So being a chartered accountant, I am very much interested in books which have a lot of financial wisdom, which talk about a lot of financial independence, financial prudence. The previous 3 books which I have read in the previous weeks also talked about the same thing, and the current book, The Richest Man in Babylon, is also about the same topic. So I thought, why not share a brief synopsis and summary chapter-wise of this book with you all as well, so that together we all can learn. To tell you something about this book was originally published in 1926 and it is based in Babylon. Babylon was considered to be the richest cities of the world at that time. This book has a lot of wisdom relating to savings, how to control your expenditures, investments, and actually forms the basis of the entire financial system of today. There is so much to learn from this book. I would request you to please go online, and you can also buy this book online the way I have bought it on Amazon Kindle, and you can also read it along with me. Now, this book has 11 chapters and I will be breaking down each of these chapters and I will be sharing the synopsis and summary with you all in the coming videos as well. So, without any further ado, let us talk about the first chapter of this book. And the first chapter is The Man Who Desired Gold. So, the plot begins with introducing us to Banshir. Now, Banshir is a chariot maker. In the olden times, we used to have wooden chariots. So, Banshir is the person who used to cut the wood, hammer it, make the leather seats for the chariot, and so on and so forth. This person used to struggle so much. He used to do a lot of physical labor. Even after that, he just earned merely hand to mouth. He used to struggle to meet both his ends meet. He was very depressed on that fateful day. He was sitting outside his workshop and thinking about his current situation. He was thinking, why can't he have so much of wealth? Now let me tell you that at that point of time, Babylon, though it was the richest city in the world, it was also a place where both classes lived together. That is, even the poorest of the poor lived in the same city where the richest of the rich were living. So, while Banshir was engrossed in his thoughts, his neighbor and his childhood friend Kobi interrupted him. Kobi was a musician and his situation was no better than that of Banshir. Both of them started discussing how and why they are in this situation and how they can improve their financial situation. Banshir and Kobi decided that they would consult their childhood friend Arkat with their problems. Arkat, though started off in a similar way to Banshir and Kobi, today he was the richest man in Babylon. That is the title of the second chapter as well as the title of our book, The Richest Man in Babylon. In the second chapter, Banshir and Kobi go to their friend Arkat. Arkat, after considering the plight of both of his friends, decided to share his financial wisdom with both the friends. Arkat went Many years back, when he started off with the similar humble beginnings like Banshir and Kobe. He also had the same master the way they had. But what was that he did differently? What was that made him the wealthiest man in Babylon? Arkad, like Banshir and Kobe, used to do similar manual jobs. However, one day there was a money lender who came to him for some work. His name was Alchemish. Alchemish suggested Arkad that whatever he earned, he must save at least 10% of that for himself. For example, if Arkad earned 10 silver coins, he must save at least 1 silver coin for himself. Arkad took that learning from Alchemish and continued to save for the entire 1 year. After that 1 year, Alchemish came back to Arkad and asked, "What have you done in the previous year?" Arkad very proudly told him that I had saved for the entire 1 year. Alchemish was very happy with that. And then he asked him, "What did you do with that savings then?" Arkad told him that I had a friend, a brick man, basically a manufacturer of the brick. So I gave all that money to that brick man to get some precious stones whenever he travels abroad. He was thinking that when he gets those precious stones, he would sell them in the jewelry market. Alchemish was not happy with that decision. He told Arkad, "You have done a grave mistake." And he was right. When Arkad's friend Brickman came back, they took those precious stones and went to the market to sell them. They realized they were mere glass pieces. And here was the second learning. Whenever you invest with the expert of that field. Arkad invested his money with a brickman to get some precious stones. Brickman was not the expert of precious stones, and that is why Arkad lost all his investment. Again he started off. Arkad again started the entire year saving, and at the end of the year, he decided to invest his money with a person who had a ship making business. He lent that money and that person invested it in his business of ship making. This time Arkad did not repeat the same mistake. He lent the money to the person who was expert in his field. And after some time, whatever money he had lent started giving him returns. This was the lesson that Arkad gave to both his friends. And with that, we come to the end of second chapter.